Welcome to Dynasty Ball Park for the final of the 2025 Men's National Softball Open Championships between two of the great clubs of New Zealand softball, Ramblers from Auckland and Paniki Kilburnie from Wellington. We're just about to go into the official welcomes and anthem, so we'll leave you to pick up the ground commentary from that aspect of the game, and I'll be back with the game calling at the first pitch.
Are you Tony that does the write-ups? Right. I'm Megan Early. I've spoken to you a few times, I think. Right. I just was what's she looking for?
Who's the assistant coach?
Calvin Roberts?
Calvin Roberts, I remember him as a pitcher.
No.
It wasn't Calvin Roberts. Calvin? Okay. Right.
Yeah, we've got a lot of generation players playing. 6 of the team. Yeah, good fun.
That's great. Okay, thank you.
If there's changes, do you want me to come and write them on a sheet for you? On a score sheet? Are you going to be doing the score sheet? Okay, I'll take it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome along to Dynasty Ball Park for the championship final of the Softball New Zealand's Men's Open Club Championship. It is my honour and privilege to introduce our finalist teams to you this afternoon. Starting off with Ramblers from the first base dugout, number 33, Oscar Clark. 21, Brock Evans. 34, Cole Evans. 23, Connor Hayden. 99, Floyd Nola. 12, Nathan Nukunuku. 28, Reese Evans. 50, Maddox Rice. Number 2, Max Early. Number 10, Daniel Chapman. 18, Oliver Rhinesfield. 27, Kane Slaughter. Number 1, Kyle Roberts. 30, Lewis Gerard. 5, Seth Burgess. 4, Ryan Early, and 73, Gabriel Tahitahi. They are joined by their coaching and management team as well. Introducing Paniki Kilburnie in the third base dugout, number 6, Jaden Stratford. 99, Riley Markia. 16, Jerome Reimaki. 4, Tikirika Cooper Nicola. Number 7, Javon Hanley. 17, Ash Goffer. 42, Kieran Bolger. 1, Michael Davies. Number 5, Aaron Gollan. 61, Josh Merritt. 23, Regan Davies. 11, James McCartney. 27, Joel Harris. And 15, Jason Doherty. Also joined by their coaching and management crew. Introducing the match officials for this afternoon's final. In the blue crew we have Lance Brown on plate, Dave Horton at 1, Kevin Shepherd at 2, and Liam Stewart at 3, and our official scorer for this afternoon, Brooke Rowland. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem.
God of nations at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shouts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand, New Zealand.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ramblers, PK, all the best. Let's sit back and enjoy a good ball game, folks.
So welcome back to the On Diamond action. My name's Tony Smith. I'll be calling this game for you today, and assisted by Jamal as a scoreboard operator. So, as we indicated at the start of the broadcast, these are two of the great clubs of New Zealand men's softball. Ramblers, thanks to their scorer Megan Early for these statistics, have won the national title 13 times, and this is their 8th straight final. Paniki Kilburnie have won the title, by my reckoning, 12 times since 1987. So Ramblers' first victories date back to the early 1980s and the great days of Steve Jackson, the legendary Black Sox pitcher, Carl Gould, Brett McKenzie, that era, and the modern era for them started in 2003. And Nathan Nukunuku, their player coach, who's in the lineup today, he has won 11 of those 13 titles as a player or a player coach. And Nathan, a 4-time world champion with the Black Sox, still in the batting lineup as the designated player for Ramblers. So he'll be batting in the number 6 slot and batting for the starting pitcher, Daniel Chapman. So Paniki Kilburnie have Josh Merritt starting the pitching. So Josh Merritt is on the mound ahead of Riley Markia, who may come in relief. So Riley is the designated player and batting in the number 2 lineup. So PK have taken the field. So we have Josh Merritt, Jaden Stratford catching. At first base we have Jerome Raimaki. At second base we have Aaron Gollan. At third, Michael Davies. At 6, Kieran Bolger. At 7, in left field, Jovan Hanley. At 8, T. Karika Cooper Nicola in centre field. In the number 9 slot in right field, Ash Groffer. And as mentioned, Riley Markia, the top hitter in this PK lineup, is the designated player and will be batting for Josh Merritt. Up now to lead off for Ramblers is Oscar Clark, the third baseman. He'll be followed by Brock Evans, Cole Evans at number 3, Connor Peden at number 4, Floyd Nola number 5, Nathan Nukunuku at 6. He'll be followed by Reese Evans, then Maddox Rice at 8, Max Early the catcher at number 9. And strike called on the first pitch delivered by Merritt to Oscar Clark. And a rearing rise ball out of the zone, 1-1. And strike called. So Clark laid off the pitch, but umpire Lance Brown calls the strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And ball on the outside. Two and 2 the count. And swing and a miss. So Merritt starts with a strikeout, a high-rise ball. Swung and missed by Oscar Clark. Brings up now Brock Evans from the left side, the second baseman for the Mount Albert Ramblers. So Brock batting .304 for the tournament. He's had 23 at-bats for 7 safe hits. So the youngest of the 3 Evans brothers in this lineup, Brock, looking to break into the Black Sox, join his brothers in the national team. And he pulls the first hit of the game, just pulls it through first base, second base for a single to right field.
Up to the plate now, Cole.
So Cole Evans, the Black Sox captain, the Ramblers shortstop, the number 3 hitter in the lineup, followed by Connor Peden. So ball 1 on Cole Evans, who is batting for the tournament .444. So 18 at-bats, 8 hits for Evans, and 3 home runs from earlier in the tournament. So in good batting form, and that's why he's in the number 3 slot for Nathan Nukunuku's team. So Evans holds off that pitch. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Sorry, it's 3-0. And Evans walks, joins brother Brock on the bases, brings up now Connor Peden. So a timeout call here by catcher Stratford. He just wants to have a word with pitcher Josh Merritt. So you may notice that Nathan Nukunuku is calling the shots from first base as opposed to third for Ramblers. And his assistant coach Calvin Roberts is over in the third base coach's box. But the signals being done from the first base coaching area by Nukunuku. Close to his own very rowdy dugout here. There's a lot of noise coming from Ramblers, all up at the fence and supporting their hitters. So here's Connor Peden at bat. Connor is former Black Sox catcher, Black Sox outfielder, was in the last World Cup team in 2022, and good to see him back in the game. Batting .278. And he's had 5 hits from 18 at-bats. Still looking for his first home run of the tournament, but very capable of doing so. So 3-0 now, the count on Connor Peden. So excellent plate discipline being shown by Ramblers so far. That's the second 3-0 count in a row, and now Peden will hang his bat and make Merritt throw a strike. And he doesn't, so loaded bases now with Peden picks the walk. Up now Floyd Nola. So Floyd Nola, who a very versatile player, he pitches for Ramblers as the backup to Daniel Chapman. He's a great outfielder, very quick, and he actually leads the batting averages for his team with .500. So he's had 7 hits from 14 at bats, and one home run here in Christchurch. So a conference called by PK. That's the assistant coach Trevor Evans out there talking with Josh Merritt in the infield. And charge conference indicated by umpire Lance Brown. So good to have Lance Brown on the plate, one of the best umpires in the business, and very experienced at World Championship level from Wanganui, where softball's seen a bit of a revival, and I understand he's part of the administration there. So Nola settled right back in the box, facing this pitch from Merritt. And Lira made at second base, and we'll now see Ramblers score 4 runs. So some costly errors there in the field by Paniki Kilburney with loaded bases, and sorry, it's 3 runs of course, because Floyd Nola remains at first base. So just with one out, that was that lead-off strikeout by Oscar Clark. We now have Ramblers out to a 3-0 lead. Ball on the outside. So Nathan Nukanuka at bat, the seasoned veteran of the Ramblers lineup. And Nathan now in his early 40s, but still a very effective hitter, and possibly the best left-handed hitter of the last generation in New Zealand softball. And strike called, so the count now 2-2. And fouled off over the third base dugout by Nukanuku, so he stays alive at 2-2. And swing and a miss. So strikeout taken by Merritt, his first of the game, second of the game. Sorry, 2 down. Outtaken there at third base by the fielder Michael Davies.
Assist across to Jerome Raymark.
Over to Jerome Raymark at first base. So it ends the inning, but not before Ramblers leap out to that 3-0 lead. So just looking at this defensive lineup for Ramblers, we'll have Daniel Chapman, the number 1 Black Sox pitcher, on the mound. He'll be throwing to Max Early behind the plate. At first base is Reese Evans. At second base, Brock Evans. Third base, Oscar Clark. Shortstop will be Cole Evans, of course. And in left field, Connor Peden. In centre field, we'll have Floyd Nola and Maddox Rice in right field. So we're now in a situation where the Pineki Kilbirnie batters need to get some runs back, and they've got the lineup that can potentially do that. So Jaden Stratford, the catcher, will be leading off. Riley Markia, the designated player, the top hitter in this PK team, will follow at 2. Jerome Raymarki at 3, also a top international hitter, and Tikarika Cooper Nicola at 4. Then Jovan Hanley, the Hawke's Bay man, at 5. Ash Goffer at 6. Kieran Bolger at 7. Michael Davies at 8. Aaron Gollan at 9.
Cole Evans at short. Connor Peden in left field. Floyd Nola.
So the other interesting aspect of this game, from the purist point of view, is we have arguably the 2 most successful domestic coaches of this century in this game. Thomas Markier, the Black Sox coach and legendary Black Sox outfielder, coaching Pineki Kilbirnie from third base, with Trevor Evans at 2, and of course Nathan Nukunuku, we mentioned earlier. Both men have won a swag of titles as players and a swag of titles as coaches, so they're pitting their wits against each other today. Ball on the inside to Stratford. Okay, 0-2 the count. Sorry if there was any distortion in the commentary earlier. We hopefully have rectified that technical fault. And so fouled off by Stratford. 0-2 the count remains, and Jaden Stratford hit a good home run earlier in the week off Papanui's Ben Watts. This time Chapman throws a bit of a waster pitch and a bid to tempt the batter, but Stratford not enticed to have a go at that. And now the count's 2-2. So Stratford, originally from the Miramar Club, now playing across town for Pineki Kilbirnie. And Chapman comes back with his first strikeout of the game. Brings up now Riley Markia. So here's the clash that a lot of people in the stands and a lot of people at home will be wanting to see. The top New Zealand pitcher against one of the top hitters in the country, if not the world, and Riley Markia. So Riley Markia, probably one of New Zealand's best batters at the last 2 World Cups, in Prague in 2019 and also in Auckland in 2022. So Chapman, knowing he won't want to give Riley any inch here, and anything too good will be hammered. And strike call. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Umpire Brown indicates the count. And Riley back here, and that's his power. He has put that well out over the fence in right centre field, and PK comes straight back into the game at 3-1 down. So, folks, you're seeing a world-class hitter there in Riley Markier, and another one to follow.
PKR on the board, folks. Up to the plate now, Jerome Raymucky.
So Jerome Raymucky up to bat, equally capable of putting the ball into orbit. Left-handed hitter, and a real slugger in the ISC circuit with the New York Gremlins. Local Wellington boy. Been around the Black Sox scene for a decade. And strike called on Raymucky by umpire Brown. So now we have a full count on Jerome Raymucky, and preparing to face the next delivery from Daniel Chapman. Who fouls back, and the ball glances off catcher early. And Raymucky picks a walk, so Raymucky had been batting .364 going into this game, and he'll improve that average a little bit with that walk. So bringing up now T. Kareka Cooper Nicola, the North Harbour man playing in Wellington for PK. And strike on the outside corner to the left-handed hitter. And strike on the inside this time. So Chapman varying his locations as he works on the edges of the zone here. And Chapman does his own fielding to double off Raymucky at first base. So
however, are on the board, so 1 inning complete. Ramblers lead over PK. 3 runs to 1.
So PK out now for the top of the second inning, still trailing 3-1, but back in the game after that hit by Riley Markier over the right centre field fence. So as we acknowledged at the start of this broadcast that these are the two most successful clubs of recent times, of all time in New Zealand men's softball, but we like to give a bit of a shout out to some of the great teams of the past, and in particular the Hutt Valley Railways team of the 1950s to late 1960s, who won a swag of titles, I believe 6 in a row at one stage. And they were led by the legendary New Zealand pitcher Bill Massey, who many of the old timers in the game believe was right up there with our best. And the catcher Terry Nuns, who played for New Zealand at 5 World Championships and captained them in 1980 in his last tournament. So Maddox Rice at bat now. So a lot of these Ramblers players on the diamond today have been with the club since T-ball days. It's all their lives. Maddox Rice from a prominent Auckland softball family. The same with the catcher Max Early. And Rice finds the gap there in left centre field, and he's stand-up double. So that's what you want from your lead-off man in the. So Rice leads off with that two-bagger to left centre, bringing up now Max Early. So we mentioned that Max comes from a prominent softball family in Auckland. His grandfather, Hilton, who's actually here watching in the stands, is a former Softball New Zealand president, long-time Auckland administrator, a very good manager of representative and international teams. Early puts the bunt down, but despite the dive from Stratford, the ball can't be secured, so foul ball. And Max's dad, Rick, was an excellent catcher for Ramblers, Auckland, Junior Black Sox. And so it's no surprise to see that those catching skills are included in the next generation. Max really tries to push that bunt, so he now has 2 strikes on him. And Max's mum, Megan, who's a prominent administrator and of the Ramblers Club and in the Auckland Association, and is the team scorer here today at Dynasty Ball Park. So Merritt throws a waste pitch, and that's let go and just watched into the catcher's glove by Early. Count now, ball 1, strike 2. And Early has put the ball out. A two-run automatic home run off the bat of Max Early, the number 9 hitter for Ramblers. So they jump out to a 5-1 lead. So great timing there off the bat of Early. He just met the ball and let his timing do the rest. Perhaps not noted as a long ball home run hitter, but he certainly got onto that pitch and dispatched it over the fence. So timeout called now, and Thomas Mark here enters the diamond. Be interesting to see at some stage whether he considers a pitching change and brings in Riley, his son, to take over on the mound. Definitely is an option for PK, and yep, he comes out of the game. Thomas Markey has got the ball in his hands. He's off to talk to umpire Brown about a pitching change, and in comes the designated player, Riley Markia, with the score at 5-1.
Lady Maria.
So Riley, a very talented pitcher. He's sort of made his name as an outfielder, like his dad. He excellent defensive outfielder, and we've seen his batting prowess already today. But he's also been a very handy pitcher, particularly in the age group grades, a junior Black Sox pitcher. Latterly, like a lot of guys, like Thomas's father, who was a talented pitcher and pitched for the junior Black Sox. Also people like Donnie Hale, the great Ramblers man. They started out as pitchers in their age group days, but became specialist hitters and almost sort of gave up the pitching art. Riley has kept going at club level and representative level for Wellington, so he's used to turning his arm over. And there's no doubt that he actually has the fundamentals and the genetic ability to be a pitcher. It's just a matter of getting the time to train and specialise. But if he could possibly master that, he could become the softball equivalent of a cricket all-rounder. The first pitch, as you expect, is a bit of a loosener, and it goes too high for Oscar Clark, the lead-off man, who's now having his second at-bat of the game. And the ball brushes Clark, who wastes no time in running down to first base and accepting the hit pitch free pass. So up now Brock Evans, who singled, just pulled a ball through second base to right field. This time Markia starts with a strike. And Oscar Clark, who has got wheels, and that's why he's in that leadoff role, beats out that Steele. So he's safe at second base. So that's a feature of the coaching in this game. Both coaches are very aggressive when they get runners on base. They're not just content to play station to station and move them with hits. They'll test the mettle of the defence with steals and the short game too. Although the Ramblers are now in a position where they don't really need to play the short game with this 4-run lead. swing and a miss. So strike out there, the first strike out for Riley Markia.
Brock Evans strikes out swinging, brings to the plate Cole Evans on deck.
Up there, Cole Evans. So Cole scored in his first at bat, one of those 3 runs that came in the first inning after a bit of defensive lapses by PK. Ball 2. So Cole Evans jumps out to a 3-0 count. He'll probably lead this next pitch. And he does, and receives the wall. So the man they call CP, Connor Peden, up to bat. So Peden certainly capable of clouting a long ball. And that's what we mean about the aggressive coaching game of Nathan Nukunuku. He, in a situation like that, with your clean-up hitter at bat and a 5-1 lead, a lot of coaches would just let your main man swing away. But Nathan Nukunuku pushes the boundaries and gets him to shape up. Fake swing, and Oscar Clark successfully steals third base. So it's fair to say that both these men, Markia and Nukunuku, coached the way they played. They were hustling players on the diamond and always looking for the extra base. Strike on the outside corner. So now there are 2 runners in scoring position for Peden, who will look just to stroke a single and maybe hit behind the runners, so right centre field. And he had a cut at that, but couldn't beat the pace of Markia. And full count now. So Peden about to face his 7th pitch of the at-bat against Riley Markia. The PK infield drawn in, the middle infield is drawn in with the runner at third base and 1 down. Out taken, so basically a fielder's choice play. The Kieran Bolger assessed there was little chance of getting Oscar Clark with his wheels out at the plate, so we'll take the out, thanks. And Peden did his job. But the score now jumping up to 6-1. Strike call. And a hit pitch, so clipped on the inside. So a substitute comes in here now for Ramblers. So it's going to be Lewis Gerard who is at bat. And Lewis Gerard does his job by driving the ball straight back at Riley Markia, who's usually a very accomplished fielder, but just sort of lost sight of that down low and valiantly tried to recover, but by then Gerard was safe at first and another runner across the plate. So 7-1 now to Ramblers. Timeout called there by Jerome Raymaki, the senior man of the infield. So runners now are at 1 and 2. At first base we actually have the DRs come in, so that's Oliver Rainsfeld and Floyd Nola, who was intentionally walked, is at second base. And Reece Evans is going to bat in Nola there for the 8th run. So great hitting here by Ramblers. They're just making contact. Yeah, apart from the Adelaide Park home run by Max Early, they are just looking to stroke the ball. Big swing there by Maddox Rice, who got a good hit last time, a stand-up double. Lovely trap there by Kieran Bolger, the shortstop. Fires the ball over to Jerome Raymaki to end the inning, but Ramblers lead 8-1. And just pressure softball applied there by the Auckland side. They executed their roles very well, and Coach Nukunuku actually took himself out from an at-bat and put in Lewis Gerard, who responded by driving the ball really hard and scoring a run and keeping the momentum going. So we now have a situation where Ramblers are well ahead, 8-1. They have Daniel Chapman on the mound. The key now for Piniki Kilburnie is getting runners on base and hoping that they can then get Riley Markia and Jerome Raymarkie up to bat with runners in scoring positions and get that big hit that might peg this lead back. But the momentum, well and truly, with Ramblers, who at this stage have one hand on the trophy. But the game's never over, and one thing you can guarantee from a team coached by Thomas Markia, they'll keep fighting till the end. So, but a lot will depend on their lower order. We're going to start off with Jovan Hanley batting here. Yeah, he's a very handy hitter. He had 7 RBIs on the first day of this tournament. But the lower order behind him will be expected to do their job, get on base, and bring up the big hitters at the top of the order. Stratford, Markia, and Raymarkie. So swing and a miss and fouled off by Hanley. So Hanley's another one of those players I talked about earlier who began their career as a pitcher. He was actually selected for the Black Sox as a pitcher utility, a pitcher who played in the outfield and went to a World Championship. Based in the Hawke's Bay, where a lot of great ball players come from, and Thomas Markia himself is a Hawke's Bay boy. On the women's side of the game, our greatest ever player, New Zealand player, Rhonda Hira from Central Hawke's Bay. Oh, and a nice change up from Chapman for a strikeout.
Hanley strikes out for the first out of the inning. Brings to the plate Ash Goffer, on deck Kieran Bolger.
So Ash Goffer, the left-handed right fielder for PK. He's one of those guys in the lower order who, real scrapper of a player. He can come up with a hit when most needed. He never gives up his at-bat, and a real spark plug. So, but he's facing the New Zealand number 1, Daniel Chapman. And Chapman jumps out now to 0-2 in the count. Ball on the outside. Oscar Clark hustles over from third base, collects the ball, fires it over to first to Reese Evans, and 2 down. So Kieran Bolger, the shortstop for PK, the former junior Black Sox player, great prospect in the game, and he comes from a family who are real club stalwarts, the Bolger family of Piniki Kilburnie. Bolger came into this game batting .381. So he's had 8 hits from 21 at-bats at this tournament prior to this to bat, and he has had 9 RBIs, 2 home runs, so can hit for power, and this is a great test for him against Chapman. And strike called. Ball 3, strike 1 on Bolger. He swings at the next pitch, so full count now. And Bolger stayed alive, fouls off. Good wee duel here between pitcher and hitter. Kieran Bolger composing himself back into the batter's box. And Bolger picks the walk. The ball way too inside for him to be bothered swinging at. Michael Davies, the third baseman, now at bat, with Aaron Gollan, the second baseman, on deck, the number 9 hitter in the order. And 2 down. So Davies endeavouring to be a base runner, whatever way he can. So, now dead ball. He just drives the ball back into his own leg, and it rolls out towards Chapman. One ball, one strike. Ball on the inside as Chapman just took a bit of pace off that, the change-up delivery, but couldn't find the zone. Strike on the outside corner. And 2-2 now the count. Michael Davies. Ball 3. And strike out. Davies strikes out at the plate to end the inning, and no score added to PK's total. They trail 8-1 after 2 completed innings. So just as PK take the diamond, obviously in a final in a tournament like this, the main driving goal of the team. Sorry, we're just waiting for a. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the from the ground announcer on the tannoy there, but the update from the women's Open final in Auckland at Rosedale Park is Waitakere Bears leading Otahu 1-0. Here it's 8-1 to Ramblers over PK, and as I was saying before that, the main goal of this of the teams here is to win the national title, obviously, and especially for two clubs with such proud records as these. But for the players, there's also the carrot, the incentive of Black Sox selection. So Thomas Markia, who's here coaching PK, also the head coach of the Black Sox, he's had his co-selectors here, Stevie Deans and Chubb Tangaroa, looking at games, and he's been watching games between his own team's assignments. and I understand that the Black Sox team will be announced very soon, so to go to the World Cup in Canada in July. A lot of the players on the diamond here are candidates for that team, and several of them are leading contenders. So Max Early to bat, fresh from his 2-run automatic home run. So ball on the inside, he's jumped out to a 2-0 count. So Max Early's one of those guys I mentioned before as a contender for Black Sox selection. He would be one of the leading catchers in the country, a great technician behind the dish, and he's probably in a contest for a spot with his opposite number here today, Jaden Stratford, and the two men who went to the last World Cup, Cameron Watts from Canterbury. And a great out there by Michael Davies. That was a hard hit shot off the bat of Early. He really pulled that hard, and it hit the tip of Davies' glove, and he recovered to actually catch it on the full and take the out. So great play, great defensive play. So up now, Oscar Clark is having his third at-bat of the game. So just a wee delay while Michael Davies hands over some equipment to the dugout. Ball 1, strike 1. Ball 3, strike 1, the count now in favour of Oscar Clark, the lead-off man, who will be wanting to keep off the bases given his pace around the diamond. And Aaron Gollan overcalls Jerome Raymaki, says that ball's mine, takes the catch, and that is 2 down. So Brock Evans, who had a good hit in the first inning, in fact the first hit of the game for the Mount Albert Ramblers. So Brock bidding to potentially join his brothers Cole and Reese in the World Cup team. So Cole, you would expect to be in there as the incumbent captain. Certainly one of the top performers in domestic softball in the last 5 years or so. Reese was one of the success stories of a otherwise fairly disappointing World Cup for the Black Sox in 2022, and he came in and did a great job at third base, sharing that role with Joel Evans. But Joel Evans has now retired from international softball, and that potentially leaves Reese in the box seat, and Brock seeking to join his brothers in the infield, specialising at second base. He swings and misses, and Mark here picks up a K to end the inning and shut out Ramblers for the first time in the game.
To 1 as we head into the bottom of the third.
So Ramblers about to take the diamond. Proud history of the Ramblers club, one of the kind of original clubs in Auckland, and certainly a well-established club off the diamond and on the diamond, of course, and they've really ramped up their women's team program in recent years, and under the coaching of Nathan Nukunuku's wife Katrina, a long-time White Sox infielder, who still plays too, player coach. And PK also with a very proud history, and when we think of Pineki Kilburney, I always think of Kevin Kelly, who was a club stalwart, a very successful businessman, and very generous sponsor of Pineki Kilburney teams in the Lion Red Series National League heyday of the late 1980s to the early 1990s. And Aaron Gollan at bat and has one strike against him. Oh, and he rears out of the way of that pitch, and so Aaron Gollan, another one from a softball whānau, who his father, I understand, was David Gollan, the former Wellington pitcher, Auckland pitcher. Man who had a great drop ball on him, and he's now a battery coach for the Junior Black Sox. His uncle, Carl Gollan, was a world champion with the Black Sox here in Christchurch in 2004. Very handy pitcher, outfielder, hitter, who played a lot in the United States and remains based there. And Aaron's grandfather, Graham Gollan, was a former Junior Black Sox assistant coach at World Championship level. So third generation player. Two and two now on Aaron Gollan, who breaks the family mould a bit by being an infielder, not a pitcher. And folks, that's why Cole Evans is widely regarded as one of the greatest shortstops in the world. You know, he made that difficult play look easy in the end. But good work by Gollan, who moved the ball really well, and perhaps with any other shortstop may have had a base hit, but not with the reflexes and gun arm of Cole Evans. So Jaden Stratford, we're now back at the top of the order for PK, and you get the sense that this is where they have to spark up. Stratford, Markia, Ray Markey. Stratford not interested in that change up. He read that pretty well. Saw that it wasn't going to be in the zone, and there's no way he was unleashing his bat. But Chapman comes back on the corner. Ball 3, strike 1. And Stratford content to go out to a full count. He just let that strike go. Fouls off. And Stratford walks, so brings up Riley Markia. And remember, Riley Markia hit that great deep home run at his first at bat. So just looking at Riley Markia's stats, he went into this game batting .600 with 15 safe hits from 25 at bats. the home run was his 7th of the tournament and his 16th RBI. So he is really leading the way in hitting at this tournament, and Daniel Chapman will not give him anything good. He'll probably pitch around him rather than intentionally walk him, but he certainly won't want to give anything in the marquee power zone. And that's a wild pitch that eludes catcher early. Not much gets past him, but that ball was way too wide for him to retrieve. On that, Jaden Stratford advances to second base. Timeout called, and Coach Mark here gets a chance to confer with his base runners. Be an interesting strategy now, whether they... it wouldn't surprise me, knowing Nathan Nuku, to see maybe some cat and mouse stuff being brought in here. Potentially an intentional walk with first base open, and then you're into a double play situation, but probably more likely they'll pitch around them. They probably don't really want Stratford and Mark here on base with Ray Markey coming up, despite their 8-1 lead. And strike called. So ball 2, strike 1. As I mentioned before in the first inning, this is the sort of jewel that you come to the ballpark to watch. World-class pitcher, world-class hitter. And another, this time a pass ball, and Stratford holds at 3. Coach Mark here anxious to hold him there, and so Daniel Chapman putting a little bit of pressure on himself, despite his ability. He has allowed a runner to advance on a couple of loose deliveries. And ball on the inside, so now runners on the corners. And interesting to see the tactic now from Coach Mark here. Runners on the corners. Another skill in the righty Mark here arsenal is pace on the base paths, particularly in his age group days. But maybe no risks to be taken with Ray Markey at bat. And a strike on the outside corner to the left-handed hitter. Jerome Raymarkey, the senior man in this lineup for PK. The guy who's the link back to the days of Thomas Markier and Jared Martin as the players. Ball on the outside. You possibly heard that loud no from Ray Markey as he basically told himself not to have a crack at that. It was too far outside. And he fouls that back, but not too far away from really tanking that. So. So Ray Markey often features in the All-Star teams at the ISC tournament in the United States, which is regarded as the best club tournament in world softball. and he picks a walk. So now we have loaded bases and brings up Tikarika Cooper Nicola, the left-handed hitter, the number 4 man in the lineup, Jovan Hanley on deck. So you sense, folks, with one down, this is the time for PK to really make a statement, really come back into the game, and the time for Daniel Chapman to say that isn't going to happen. I'm going to dominate these hitters at the plate. He starts well with a strike to the left-handed Cooper Nicola. So with the runner at 3 and 1 down, the infield drawn in a little. Change up there, well judged by Early. That not difficult to, not easy always to grab that change up on the outside, but he did that well. He blocked it well. No chance of the runner coming from third to score. And now TK Cooper Nicola. And Chapman just ramping up the pace a little bit, but the rise ball out of the zone. So Cooper Nicola doing his job, coming back to a count of 2-2, seeking to keep this pressure on the on Daniel Chapman. So Cooper Nicola had gone into this game batting .393. He'd had 11 hits out of 28 at-bats.
Hang on, time out everyone.
So 3-1 count there. And Cooper Nicola takes the walk, and that means that Jaden Stratford scores on the loaded bases, base on balls. So back now to 8-2.
So Nicola puts the base on balls. Jaden Stratford scores on that play. Up to the plate now, we have Jovan Hanley. On deck, Ash Goffer. And at the gate, Kieran Bolter.
So that'll bring up Jovan Hanley with bases still loaded, of course. And Jovan, the certainly capable slugger, he is. What has he had this week? He's had 3 home runs. And 13 RBIs. 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. But he's also struck out a bit too. So he's a big swinger, and nothing wrong with that. And he gets his fair share of success with the bat. And the umpires confer and decide there was no swing offered by Hanley. There definitely was a swing that time, so so timeout called as Catcher really wants a word with Chapman. So Coach Mark here, after having a word to Jovan Hanley, goes back to the coaching area at third base. So disciplined hitting here by PK. They know that Daniel Chapman's given up a few walks in this inning, and they're just looking to see him throw as many pitches as possible rather than chase him early in the count. And that ball eludes the catcher at high wild pitch, but there's a certain spring in the backstop netting here at Dynasty Ball Park, and it normally springs right back into towards the field of play rather than stops dead, so no chance of the runner scoring from third base. And another walk, so another run walks in. So it's Riley Markey that scores on that that bases loaded, base on balls.
Up to the plate now, Ash Goffer.
Ash Goffer up, so I'm sure his instruction is going to be pretty much the same. See as many pitches as you can, put the pressure back on him, and let's just keep the scoreboard ticking away. It's 8-3 now. But Goffer goes after Chapman right from the first pitch and swings aggressively, but just drives the ball back. Foul ball. And Max Early reacted really quickly there to snare that ball after it eluded him, and no chance of Raymarki, who came down the line. He wisely decided, no, I'm not having a crack at home plate. I'll retreat and we'll live to fight another day here, or another pitch at least. And Goffer not far off tagging that one, but it goes foul. So Chapman ahead in the count now, 1-2. One down, remember, so bases loaded. Goffer has a chance to make a name for himself, and Safe Hit will score 2 runs. And Goffer just reads that change up and makes sure he fouls it off and doesn't overswing. So good batting here by Ash Goffer. He's been aggressive but also being watchful at the same time. Chapman getting a bit of scholarly advice from his shortstop and captain there, Cole Evans. And Chapman strikes out. It's a vital strikeout for the breaks up those run of base on balls, and so 2 down now. Brings up Kieran Bolger, who picked a walk at his last at bat. Has had 2 home runs this week and 9 RBIs. Ball. Yep, Bolger knew that was a strike. He maybe regretted not having a dig at that, but 1-1. Ball 2, strike 1. And Bolger got onto that quite well, but it just seemed like the wind just held it up a bit there and made the catch relatively easy in the end for Maddox Rice in right field. So 3 runners left on base, but PK did pull back a couple of runs in that inning. So this game's not over yet, even though Ramblers still have a 8-3 advantage. What that did, that rally, really was the plate discipline of the PK players allowed the inning to extend, which means ultimately that maximises the chances of their top order, Stratford, Markia and Ray Maki, getting more at-bats. And you kind of feel that's the key to this game, that those 3 really are the ones that are going to lead that rearguard action, if you like. And I imagine that Nathan Nukunuku, he won't be happy. He'll never be happy to concede 2 runs in an inning. But given the problems his ace pitcher had with finding his zone there, they're probably a little bit relieved to get out of it with no more collateral damage than 2 runs. Okay, up now, Cole Evans. So Cole, 10 RBIs going into this game. 3 home runs. He's batting .444. So Cole's been in the Black Sox for several World Championship campaigns. He was promoted to captain by the previous coach Mark Sorensen for the last World Cup, where he excelled defensively at that tournament. He was certainly one of the best middle infielders there. Like a lot of the New Zealand players, though, perhaps didn't always achieve what he wanted to at the plate as a batter, but the potential is definitely there within him. He's definitely been one of the best players in the country for quite a while now. He's facing another one in that category in Riley Markia. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Very open, aggressive stance by Cole Evans. And he drives a good hit there to just into right centre field, where it's picked up by TK Cooper Nicola. Up now we have Connor Peden. So strike called there on Connor Peden. Who's tagged it, and that is hitting all the way, folks. It's gone. So a 2-run shot. So that negates those 2 runs they conceded in the last inning, and they're out now. The Ramblers to a 10-3 lead. So a great shot there by straight centre field shot by Connor Peden, emphasising the power in the Ramblers lineup. So with none down, it brings up Floyd Nola. strike on the outside corner, so ball 2, strike 2. And strike out. So Mark here comes back with a nice strike out after giving up that solo shot, well, 2-run shot actually. So Louis Gerard stays in the batting lineup as the DP, taking over from Nathan Nukunuku, the player coach. Strike called. Ball 1, strike 2. And Gerard strikes out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Mark here. Up now, Reece Evans had a good hit last at bat. And Reece Evans, that looks like that's heading all the way too, folks. That's going to hit the bushes over left field. So Reece Evans, the 4th home run of the game and the 3rd to the Ramblers, has surely put the seal on this game now. So 11-3. So Maddox Rice taking 2 strikes on the outside corner. Mark here felt he'd clipped the inside corner, and also that the batter had offered a swing, but the first base umpire David Fortin said no. So back in the box, and that's a lovely change-up strikeout there by Riley Mark here. That's his 3rd strikeout of the inning, but on the other side of the ledger there were 2 automatic home runs from the bats of Connor Peden and Reece Evans. So as I said, there's now been 3 home runs by Ramblers, 2 in 1 inning, and that just shows the pressure that this Ramblers dynasty does build. They got themselves in a bit of a hole by conceding 2 runs in the last inning, but they came straight back with 2 automatic home runs, 3 runs, and they now have an 8-run lead going into the next PK at bat. So just a reminder, folks, that the Black Sox team will be announced in the near future, and there'll be a lot of interest in the 16 players that Thomas Mark here and his co-selectors take to Canada. Yeah, particularly around the pitching staff. So hopefully Daniel Chapman will be available. There's some conjecture that Josh Pettit, the long-time pitcher, won't be due to injury. So I guess when we're talking about contenders there in the pitching stakes, we're talking about Chapman, we're talking Liam Potts, the young lefty from PCU Devils, the Canterbury Club champions who finished 4th here at this tournament. I understand from his team scorer Marie Byrne that he gave up just 1 earned run in the whole tournament, so impressive pitching by the southpaw there from Canterbury. And Ben Watts from the Papanui Tigers, the other strong Canterbury team, and Floyd Nola has done quite a bit of pitching. Could potentially be a bolter as a utility player. But I suspect we're going to see quite a lot of players from this game involved in that squad, subject to availability. So, Mark here and Ray Markey from PK, Evans, C, R, potentially B from Ramblers. Maybe Max Early, the catcher. So this is Michael Davies, the third baseman, who is in his second at-bat of the game. And he strikes out on a change-up, so still only the bottom of the 4th. A lot of base path action, hitting action. And young Aaron Gollan, he grounded out to Cole Evans last time, who's drawn in now. So the Ramblers infield drawn in a little bit to try and shut down the slapping options of the left-handed hitter Aaron Gollan. That is sheer class from Cole Evans, sheer class. He was actually beaten by that ball. He was drawn in, it was hit right at the edges of a shortstop's range. He somehow got back there, grabbed it, spun, and while he couldn't actually throw out Gollan, that was just an amazing play, and it sort of almost deserved it out, really. What he did there was really rob Gollan of a double. So this is now Jaden Stratford. So this is what PK need. They need a base runner. Gollan's done his job superbly. He's actually moved the ball pretty well with the bat. Now they have Stratford at bat, so he's just taken a strike on the outside. So ball 1, strike 2. And if Stratford gets on base, then it opens up the field for Riley Markier and Jerome Raymarkey. And on that pass ball, we'll see Aaron Gollan go down to second base. Ball 2, strike 2. Ball 3, strike 1. The umpire Brown confirms the count. Stratford just steps out, settles himself, comes back in. Strike on the outside corner, so full count now on Jaden Stratford. More pressure on Chapman. And stand-up strikeout, so the KC symbol goes in the book. Up now with the runner at second base, Riley Markio. So betting 1,000 for the game with that first up automatic home run, and then he drew a walk. So he just pulls away from that inside pitch down low. 4-1. Again, you'll watch Chapman and Early will pitch around the power zone of Markio. Yep, comes inside again. So yeah, they've already been stung by that first at bat, which he dispatched the ball over the outfield fence. And they'll be making sure that he doesn't get a similar pitch to hit. But this time it's straight down the middle. Markio, who is well ahead in the count, happy to take that pitch. Ball 3, strike 1. And Markio walks for the second successive time. And in some ways, Ramblers won't be too worried by that. I'd rather have him walk than put the ball out of the park again. So, but here's Ray Markey capable of doing that as well. So probably a similar tactic here, just pitch around the corners. Too low, and in some ways PK can't really afford just to keep accumulating walks here. They do need to start collecting RBIs. And that was down the middle, and Ray Markey happy to let it go because he'll quite rightly back his power later in the at-bat. And I judge the ball on just slightly outside the corner. And strike called. Oh, and a loose throw there, and Aaron Gollan's going to score on that play. So, yep, slides in. Riley Mark here at second base. So we now have a score of 11-4, folks. So the ball was let go, and there was some sort of slightly unusual circumstances there, but the throw was let go and did balloon into centre field, which allowed Gollan to score. So PK are now saying that they want to replace Riley Mark here at second base. It's not going to happen now, but sort of trying to invoke the 2-out battery rule there. But Markey stays at second. Ray Markey at bat. He has a 2 balls, 2 strikes count on him. Once Ramblers resume their Correro in the middle of the diamond there. And a big punch there by Raimaki. It's going to go to picked up there by the centre fielder, but not before Markia scores the 5th run of the ball game for PK. So 11-5 now. And Raimaki demonstrating why he is one of the best hitters in the country there. So nice hit up the middle. Solid contact, flat swing.
5, Ramblers over PK.
So as we said before, no Piniki Kilburnie team coached by Thomas Markia is ever going to give up the fight, and PK are really coming back at just trying to chip away. They know it's still early in the game. Their main thing now is avoiding the 7-run mercy rule limit. So 6 runs the lead now to Ramblers. And Cooper Nicola, left-handed hitter, hard to pitch to for the right-hander, and and the ball just glances off the bat. So Cooper Nicola, 2-2 in the count. He's a typical PK centre fielder. They produced some excellent centre fielders over the years, from Michael Nichols from the Black Sox era of 1984 to 1992, and Thomas Markia. And great wheels by Cooper Nicola. Just sort of slapped that ball into the diamond. Cole Evans picked it up, but even a fielder with his swiftness isn't going to throw out a runner of the speed of Cooper Nicola at that range. So PK just keeping it rolling along, just keeping the pressure on. They're 6 runs down, but they have 2 runners on base, and Jovan Hanley, a power man, up to the plate, possibly due a hit today because. Based on percentages, you're not going to keep a guy like Hanley shackled at the plate too long. So 2 down with Jovan Hanley at bat, 2 runners on base. Ray Markey in scoring position at second. Really, you'd fancy a hit to the outfield would possibly score both runners with the pace of Cooper Nicola at 1. And swing and a miss. And just pulled foul by Hanley. Not sure if you can see it on screen, folks, but we seem to have had an extra left fielder out there. There's a duck just slowly ambling right back to the fence. Obviously looking for a bit of sustenance on the grass edges there. And yes, he went, says umpire Forden at first, and that's retires the side, but a couple more runs pegged back there by PK. So 11-5 now we have the lead of Ramblers.
For complete folks, Ramblers lead over Piniki Kilburnie.
And we're about to head into the top of the 5th. So when we talk about some of these dynasties in these two clubs, you know, the Piniki Kilburnie, they really came to their fore in the, I think their first title was 1987, which happened to be the first year of the Lion Red Series National League, which for you younger listeners was a travelling competition, a 6-week to 8-week competition each year, where the leading clubs of New Zealand flew around the country playing each other in a league schedule, culminating in a finals weekend. Piniki Kilburnie were the dominant team. There were 3 teams of that era, where Piniki Kilburnie, Auckland Marist with Eddie Kalassi, who was actually coaching Auckland Marist at this tournament, and Cardinals with Mark Sorensen, of course, and good pitching like Paul McGann. So it was a great. It was probably, I believe, the heyday of New Zealand club softball. Just having that extended National League competition, and some great players at PK. Just their pitching staff alone. Peter Meredith, who pitched for both New Zealand and the United States at World Championships. Marty Grant, who won two gold medals with the Black Sox. 3 actually. He was part of the 2004 squad. Was injured, but still received a gold medal for his contributions. Very strong team. Don Tricker, who became the Black Sox coach, was one of their key players. Good imports, and they brought along young players like Jared Martin, and a bit later on towards the end of the National League era, Thomas Markia, who's here coaching them today. Likewise, Ramblers. Back in the early 80s, they had the strongest team in the country. They Stephen Jackson, the New Zealand pitcher, still part of the club today, I understand. Pitching to Carl Gould, New Zealand catcher, who now lives here in Christchurch and was recently on the Papua Nui Tigers coaching staff, coached Canterbury Red Sox. Now having a spell from the game, but I saw him at the ballpark earlier today, so I'm sure he's watching this final. Brett McKenzie, World Championship winner in 1984 with the Black Sox. So some great players down the years, right through to the modern era, which was led very much by Nathan Nukunuku and Donnie Hale. So Max Early up to bat for his 3rd time, culminated by his great automatic home run. And 3-1 now. The Max Early was heading to first base, but umpire Lance Brown said no, that's a little bit early. No pun intended, but it's 3-1 the count. Now it's 3-2. Markia gets a strike on the inside, and Early agrees that was the right call. And Kieran Bolger takes the out over at first base. He fires the ball over to Ray Markey. Tidy fielding by the PK shortstop.
Up to the plate, Oscar Clark.
So Oscar Clark up for his 4th time today, still seeking his first hit, but he did score a run after making base on a hit pitch. And a wild pitch there by Markia, rears away, and And some real heat thrown there by Markia for the strikeout. Just a wee break here while father and son, the pitcher and coach, confer. Oh, jeez, I didn't notice it. Sorry folks, while I was giving that history lesson earlier, I failed to detect that there had been a pitching change, and that's
Yeah, fair enough. I'll put it right at the bottom.
So we're now seeing the starter, which is Josh Merritt, coming back into the game. So Jovan Hanley had Jovan Hanley coming out. Okay, folks, sorry for the confusion, but Jovan Hanley did come into that inning to pitch, and has since been replaced. So Josh Merritt's come back in, and Hanley is in the DP slot. So Josh Merritt, who started the game, is the third pitcher that PK have used. So 2 down now, and Brock Evans up to bat. So ball 3, strike 1 on Brock Evans. Who picks the walk? So up now, Brother Cole. So 2 down, and Ramblers looking to score Brock Evans, which would then take them out to that 7-run lead and give them 3 outs of the game. But PK will fight to the end. They won't allow that to happen, and they'll get right behind Josh Merritt here. And a big shot there by Cole Evans. That is going to find the fence, and that's the 2-run home run off the bat of Cole Evans, the 4th automatic home run of the game for Ramblers. And that's Cole Evans' first home run of this game, but certainly not his first of the tournament. He has hit now, looking at this list, he has now slugged 4 home runs for the week here in Christchurch, bringing up Colin Peden, who had an automatic of his own earlier. And ball 3 now on Peden. Ball 3, strike 1. And Peden picks a walk, so that's going to bring up a substitute. Yep.
Up to the plate now, Floyd Nola. My apologies, Seth Burgess.
Yep, Seth Burgess has come in as a pinch hitter for Floyd Nola. And looks like another one on deck, and Kyle Roberts will bat for Lewis Gerard, who had replaced Nathan Nukunuku, who was the DP earlier on. So basically Nukunuku giving his whole lineup a bit of a run. Although he still does have a couple of options on the bench who may possibly take a defensive role. Ryan Early is the runner at 1, coming in for Peden. So substitute runner, substitute hitter, and substitute on deck. So ball 2, strike 1 on ball 2, strike 2. Sorry, on Seth Burgess. 2 down. And valiant effort by Ray Markey there to try and get that foul ball, but the fence beat him in the end. So Burgess stays alive at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Burgess fouls off again, so the pinch hitter staying alive here for Ramblers. We now have that big 13-5 lead. Aaron Gollan takes the out, ends the inning, but not before the Mount Albert Ramblers jump out to that 13-5 lead, and highlighted by the 2-run home run by Cole Evans. So just to backtrack on that, those defensive changes by PK, sorry I didn't notice that initial pitching change, but Jovan Hanley came in on the mound, and that meant that Riley Markia went to left field, and then the pitching change was made to bring back the original Josh Merritt. So now Riley Markey is in the field. He was the DP at the start of the game, and Hanley remains in the batting lineup in the DP role. But it's all sort of academic now, because the Ramblers now have that 8-run buffer, and they just need 3 outs for the ball game and their 14th New Zealand title. So no changes in the Ramblers infield. What we do have though is looks like Ryan Early has gone out to left field, so he stayed in the game after pinch running. Floyd Nola remains in centre field. He's come back into the game, and then we still have in right field Maddox Rice by the look of it. Ashcroft for the number 6 in the order for PK. So PK need a couple of runs to keep this ball game ticking over. Chapman just slips slightly in his stride there, just loses his rhythm, and delivers a ball 2. A nice change up from Chapman, draws the strike, draws the swing, and beats the bat. Ball 2, strike 2. So full count now on Ashcroft, who often goes the distance in his at-bats. And he picks a walk. So he gives PK the runner they want to try and get a rally going. Looking for a big inning. Up comes Kieran Bolger. And Michael Davies, the third baseman, is the on-deck batter. So Bolger capable of getting the big hit, but he takes a strike for the first pitch. And a change up there delivered by Chapman for strike 2. Oh, and a hit pitch, so that will put Bolger at first base, advance Goffin to second, brings up now the, well, it was to bring up a Michael Davies, but it looks like Coach Mark here is going to the dugout, and he's bringing in Joel Harris by the look of it. So Joel Harris being part of the PK team for a long time, a long ball hitter potentially. He has now come into the game as a pinch hitter for Michael Davies.
Update from Rosedale Park, folks. The Otahuhu women have just scored the go-ahead run in the top of the 7th inning. So it's 3 runs to 2 to Otahuhu over the Waitaki Bears.
So not sure if you heard the ground announcer announce that Otahuhu have gone ahead 3-2 over Waitakere Bears in the Women's Club Open final at Rosedale Park. Top of the 7th inning there. Bottom of the 5th here. So yeah, we've had a lot more scoring action here, and the game is still in the middle innings. But bearing in mind that Ramblers only need 3 outs to effect that early victory, wrap up that 14th title, and take the crown back to Felds Park. Ball 2, strike 1. And Joel Harris picks a walk, and it loads the bases now for Aaron Gollan, with the leadoff man Jaden Stratford to follow. So Harris's limited involvement's over. He's drawn the walk, done his job, but Michael Davies will re-enter as the base runner. So, and that's the end of the game too for Daniel Chapman, the starter for Mount Albert Ramblers, with the bases loaded. Coach Nuku said, "You've done your job, son. We'll bring in relief now," and it looks like they're now bringing in Tane Slaughter, who's been warming up diligently on the sideline. So we'll see him take 5 pitches, and pretty handy backup to have to Chapman, as is Floyd Nola, who's in centre field today. So Slaughter, a pretty handy option to have. He is in the Auckland representative team with Chapman. He has, I believe, been on the fringes of the Black Sox in the past. And Ramblers this year have fielded 2 teams in the Auckland competition, so they've split their resources and trying to develop real depth, which they certainly have when you look at their reserve bench. So when we resume, we'll see Aaron Gollan coming up to bat, and he picked up an infield single on his last at bat. Was pretty unlucky not to get one on his first when he just punched the ball out to Cole Evans at shortstop. He made the out. On the second occasion, not even someone of Cole Evans' skill could get Gollan with that hit that almost sort of just snuck through to centre field. Evans stopped it brilliantly, but Gollan a little bit too quick to first base for him. So infield single there, and now his job will be to see a few pitches. Certainly Coach Markia won't want him swinging too early. Max Slaughter is the new man coming in, try and find his zone. And good start by Slaughter. He finds a strike on the outside corner to the left-handed hitter. Ball one, strike one. So Gollan certainly hasn't been phased by facing Chapman. He's done a good job at the plate. He's done it again. He's tagged the ball. It looks like it's going to be caught there in left field, but the runner will score from it. So an RBI single, sacrifice fly, not a single, off the bat of Aaron Gollan. So a good day for Aaron Gollan with the bat. He can be pretty happy with his offence today. Tagged that ball really high. It was caught well there by Ryan Early, but no chance of getting Goffer from third base. So 13-6. One down, and Jaden Stratford and Riley Marquette to follow. So a real chance for PK to stay alive in this game, to keep it ticking over. And I've seen sides led by Thomas Marquette erase deficits before and win games. So there'll be no relaxing by Ramblers. Ball two, strike one. Jaden Stratford, a Black Sox squad pitcher, training squad catcher rather, and maybe a contender. Can he get a hit here? Swings and misses. So good strike by Slaughter. Beats the bat. 2-2. Ball on the outside. So first base open, full count. Can Stratford load the bases, which then requires Slaughter to pitch to Riley Marquette. And it ball. So umpire Brown indicates that was actually a hit by pitch, not a straight base on balls. So loads it up now for Riley Marquette, which is an awkward situation for Ramblers. Obviously, without first base open, they have to pitch to Marquette, and he has the potential to grand slam. Ball down low. So again, the instructions will be pitch around them. We'll give up one run. We've got a big enough lead. We don't want to give up four. And good slide in there by Kieran Bolger for. So now we have a situation where the lead is cut to 6 runs, which means we're now going to go into the top of the 6th. Another wild pitch, but this time the backstop netting does the job, and the ball springs back to catch it early. Timeout called, and they're just going to try and settle Tane Slaughter down. Just say, take it easy, son. Find the zone. Ball 3 on mark here, so he's well ahead in the count, and he'll just relax himself while Ramblers do their talking in the middle of the diamond. So now first base is open with 3 balls on mark here. He'll probably hang his bat up at this this juncture and take the next pitch. And he walks. So that's his 3rd walk of the game and an automatic home run. So you can clearly see that strategy of pitching around the big slugger from PK. Up now, another one though, in the form of Jerome Raymark. He got a great hit last time, just punched the ball to the left centre field fence for a single. And Raymark, who often issues that no to remind himself not to swing at something out of the zone. Disciplined hitter, power hitter, and but also a really good eye at the plate. Ball on the outside. And Slaughter comes back with a strike. No, sorry, it's yes, it is. Yeah. No, sorry, the count is 3-0. Umpire Brown is the only adjudicator. That's a strike though, so 3-1. Swing and a miss, nice pitch by Slaughter, just came in on the inside of Raymark and beat the bat. So full count now. Loaded bases. And clutch strikeout there by Tane Slaughter, two down, big strikeout by Slaughter. Timeout called. They've had plenty of these conflabs in the middle of the diamond. Ramblers just looking to settle their pitches down, and so Cooper Nicola back in the batter's box. Ball 1, still loaded bases, 2 down. Ball 2, so Cooper Nicola are well ahead in the count and looking to keep this pressure on. And a safe slide home there by Michael Davies. He is going to be in for the 8th run for the Piniki Kilbirnie side, who've really basically kept themselves in this game through plate discipline, picking walks, good solid base running, taking the advantage on the pass ball. Old school softball in many ways, but it's working for them. Ball 3, strike 1. So first base open, runners at 2 and 3. A hit here by Nicola would really make this game interesting as we head into the later stages. Instead he picks the walk, so yet again, real discipline at the plate by the men from Wellington. So Coach Mark here going to his dugout again for another substitute. He's looking at bringing in somebody for Jovan Hanley, and it looks to me like Regan Davies is number 23 is coming into the game. So Regan Davies to bat for Jovan Hanley in the number 5 slot. Ash Goffer on deck. So 2 down, bases loaded. Strike called. Fouled off, so that'll be an 0-2 count on the pinch hitter Regan Davies. And Cole Evans takes the easier option there at third base, with the forced play. So Ramblers do get out of that hole, but it's 13-8 now, and we're going to head into the top of the 6th inning. So PK successfully achieving their aim of extending this game, taking it as far as they can, and just whittling away at that big lead that Ramblers had established. So some of the teams that have been down here at this tournament have been watching this final, but there's a bit of a mass exodus of the East Coast Bays team, obviously heading to the airport to get their homeward flight. So all the best, safe travels. So Josh Merritt to continue on the mound for PK. Looking to get a shutout inning and let his batters have another crack at Tane Slaughter. So we're now seeing Coach Nuku coming back into the game. He's decided to resume his role as the starting designated player Perhaps he's seen all his teammates get those automatic home runs and fancies a crack at the action. But great to see Nathan Nukunu at bat. He's certainly been a fantastic servant of for the Ramblers club. And he lines out a hit. So first pitch, he just strokes to centre field for a single. And Reece Evans, who picked up one of those 4 home runs for Ramblers earlier in his last at bat. So in his younger days, Nathan Nukunu would certainly be looking to steal second base. He rarely ever stayed still on the base paths. There's no need today to do that for Evans. And some of the PK players are objecting to what they felt was a bit of a over-vigorous collision there with young Aaron Golan at second base, who took the out, kept his composure. No real harm done, but the out is taken, and so 13-8, 1 down. Reece Evans on the fielder's choice at first base. And strike called on Maddox Rice. So ball 1, strike 1. Maddox Rice from a softball family in Auckland. Dean Rice, I think maybe his uncle, not entirely sure of the connection there, was a great Black Sox infielder, left-handed hitter, world champion. Paul Rice, great club career, played for Auckland. There's family connections all over the sport, and this week we're seeing sort of 3rd, even 4th generation players playing for their clubs. I always like to tell the story of a Papua Nui women's pitcher, Brittany Terry, who's been in the White Sox squad. Her great-grandfather played for Wanganui, and when they took the Beatty Cup, the national title off Auckland in 1947. And stand-up strikeout. Big clutch strikeout for Josh Merritt, so that is 2 down now. Up now Max Early, the number 9 hitter, but certainly much better than that in terms of performance. He got a great home run today, great 2-run home run, and has been largely hitting the ball well. And it's one of the strengths of this Ramblers team is their batting lineup goes real deep, and you might be number 8 or number 9 at Ramblers, but that doesn't mean you're not a top hitter. It's just an indication of the depth at Nukunuku's resources. Umpire Lance Brown indicates an 0-2 count on Max Early. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Max Early, who's clawed his way back in the count. Steps out of the box, just wants to compose himself a little and get his focus back in there. And full count, so good at bat here by Early. He recovered from 0-2 and has taken it out to a full count, giving himself a chance to make base. And picks the walk. So that'll bring up Oscar Clark. And Ramblers invoking the 2-down catcher rule, which allows Max Early to be replaced by Maddox Rice at first base while he gets his gear on for the bottom of the 6th. No swing indicated by umpire Fortin at first base after umpire Brown asks the question. Assistant coach Trevor Evans comes into the middle now to discuss the potential options here. So Trevor actually from the Hutt City United club originally, or Hutt Valley Marist. I remember he's the father of Joel Evans, the Black Sox third baseman, who a lot of us will remember for hitting that Grand Slam home run in the 2017 World Championship final over in Canada off Adam Folkard, so the Australian pitcher. And Trevor and so father Trevor and son Joel actually won a national title here together on the same team, which was quite a feat back here in Christchurch a decade or so ago. I just can't quite remember whether that was with Hutt City United or Hutt Valley Marist, because I think Hutt City United actually. So anyway, so Merritt's just walked Oscar Clark. That'll bring up Brock Evans, Cole Evans on deck. 2 down. And ball 2. So Merritt just struggling a little bit to find his zone here with bases loaded. And on the outside again, so ball 3. And strike on the corner. And a big clutch strikeout with bases loaded there by Merritt. He really did get himself out of the jam and pitched really well there, kept his composure and stand-up strikeout. So we're now going into the bottom of the 6th with that lead still at 13-8 to Ramblers. And Tane Slaughter coming back out there onto the mound to resume his role in relief. PK just having a bit of a huddle, and I think it's a fair bet that Coach Mark here is saying more of the same, boys. Just be disciplined at the plate. Take the walk if it's there, but also take that hit. You know, if we can get runners on and a couple of RBIs, we're really back in this game. So teams often play in the style of the coach, and the style of Thomas Mark here is never to give up. He was the type of guy as a player who would dive for everything in the outfield. He was a great outfielder, and many people rate him alongside Mark Sorensen as New Zealand's greatest softballer. And certainly one of the best all-rounders that's ever played the game. If you talk to someone as wise as Mike Walsh, who's been around New Zealand softball for a long time and remembers all the great players going back to the 1950s. The names of Thomas Mark here and Ross Smith come up as great all-rounders. People who could pitch, play in the field, hit, run the bases, do everything. But now it's Ash Goffer. If we come right back to the present, it's Ash Goffer facing Tane Slaughter. And strike called. And Goffer just saying no to himself to remind him of his primary job is to make base. Keep that discipline going. And yep, he picks the walk, so he gives PK a lead-off base runner. We'll bring up Kieran Bolger.
Ash Goffer picks the base on ball. Up to the plate now, we have Kieran Bolger.
So Mark here wants a word with base runner Goffer. Again, the emphasis will be on trying to get these lower order hitters on base and minimising the outs and bringing up the top of the order, Stratford, Markia, Raimaki. And now there's a pitching change being made here. It's Kelvin Roberts, the assistant coach, has gone out to relieve Tane Slaughter, the relief man. So in comes so it looks like Floyd Nola's coming from centre field, and he is going to be the third pitcher that Ramblers have used. So we've seen 6 pitches in this game, folks. That both sides have used 3 pitches. Nola is the third used by Ramblers. PK started with Jason Merritt, brought in Riley Markia, briefly Jovan Hanley, and then back to Merritt again. And I guess it's no surprise that they've been ringing the changes both sides on the mound, because it's quite a high scoreline for a national championship final, 13-8. Lots of hitting action, lots of base on balls, base path action. It's a far cry from the old days of this tournament. Used to be known as the John Lennon tournament, and only the champion teams from each province were allowed to enter. And often in those days, games were very much dominated by pitchers. They were low-scoring affairs, and it wasn't unusual to see pitchers rack up 15 plus strikeouts across the 7 innings. Now it's a hitter's error, and Nola starts with a ball to Kieran Bolger. Another ball on the inside. And essentially that pitch is in the same place as the last on the inside, so Bolger well ahead 3-0. He'll hang his bat up and in the hope that he'll draw the walk and join Goffer on the base paths. And he has done. So good batting by Kieran Bolger. Saw 4 pitches, laid off them all, and picks up the second consecutive base on balls for the inning. And there's been numerous in this game. So another conference. Max Hurley just trying to establish that connection with Floyd Nola and get him back into the zone, putting some pressure on the hitters, which this hitter is Michael Davies. Strike called, so that's the first strike delivered by Nola. Michael Davies came out of the game in his last at-bat for a pinch hitter, Joel Harris, who picked a walk, and Davies came back in to replace him as a runner. And Nola, who of course is a very handy fielder, he scoops that ball up, decides to take the middle runner and or the back runner effectively, so take the out at second. But runners on the corners now, 1 down. Aaron Gollan, who's moved the ball really well in this game, got an RBI single at his last at bat, and he's at bat now with another run at third base. So And strike thrown by Nola. Can Gollan pick up a second RBI single in a row? PK supporters would dearly love him too. And not far away actually from a good cut by Nola, just fouled it off by Gollan, sorry, and Nola on the mound, and he's just starting to find his rhythm a bit. So good little duel going here. 0-2. But Gollan moves the ball yet again, and they can't pull off the double play, which would have got them out of the inning. In that resulting fielder's choice, Ash Goffer scores. So 13-9 now. So Michael Davis taken out at second base, and but Ramblers unable to get the double. Goffer scores the 9th run, and now we're at top of the order again with Jaden Stratford and young Aaron Gollan at first base. So good work by Aaron Gollan. He's really moved the ball well today. Ball one. Young Gollan's a handy man to have at number 9 because he's putting the ball into play. He's getting on base, and that brings up the top order behind him, which is all you can ask for a number 9 hitter, and he's repaid the faith shown by Coach Makia. So ball 2, strike 1. And just fouled off. Stratford stays alive. Ball 2, strike 1. Strike 2, sorry. And that's gone over the backstop fence here at Dynasty Ball Park. No play possible, and count remains 2-2. So full count now, Jaden Stratford taking the count out to the full 3 balls, 2 strikes, as so many PK batters have done in this game. Remember folks, at one stage they were down 8-1, they're now back into the game at 13-9. Oh, too hot to handle there on the corner, and they won't go. He did, what a fantastic recovery from Oscar Clark. It looked like Stratford would beat that out, but Oscar Clark just recovered so quickly, and what a rocket arm to get Jaden Stratford out and end the inning. So good defensive play there. So we mentioned at the start of this game, folks, that Lance Brown, the plate umpire, highly experienced umpire, good caller of balls and strikes, and he has officiated at many World Championships. He's from Wanganui, which has a really proud record of producing international umpires, and it all started back in the day with a man called Don Brewer, who is one of New Zealand's best players in the 1940s to 1960s. He post-war period through to the mid-60s, he was really the father of Wanganui softball in many ways. Founded the Braves Club and set up a ballpark which is still in use today under the Wanganui Softball Association. But Don Brewer, like a lot of players in that era, a lot of the top players also became qualified umpires. And Don Brewer umpired at a World Championship in Lower Hutt in 1976 with a fellow called Charlie Phillips, who was in the first from Wanganui, who was a pitcher and an infielder. He was in in the first couple of New Zealand World Championships teams as a third baseman. And he took up umpiring as well, and Charlie Phillips umpired at World Championships, went all the way to become New Zealand softball chief umpire, and then along came a man called Lindsay Edwards, former Wanganui and Combined Services catcher, and he umpired at World Championships, and now Lance Brown, who has continued that very proud tradition of the whakapapa of Wanganui umpiring, so great to see him here doing this final. Up now, Cole Evans. Already hit one automatic home run here in this title decider. Top of the 7th. So credit PK with taking this game the distance. It didn't look like it would go that far at one stage, but they've just ground their way back into it. And strike called. Ball 1, strike 1. So Cole fouls it off, and ball 1, strike 2 now. So Cole, we mentioned his Black Sox status as the captain of the Black Sox, and numerous world championships. Still only in his mid to late 20s. Plenty more softball at the highest level ahead of him. Ball 2. Interestingly, his dad, Clive, who was a top player around Auckland for many years, actually represented Great Britain on a heritage basis, I think, at a World Championship. So good international softball pedigree around the whole family. Full count down. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Cole picks the walk. That'll bring up Ryan Early for his first at-bat of the game. So unlike brother Max, he backs from the left side. Swings and misses at the pitch from Merritt. Strike called on the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball on the outside, 2 and 2. So a full count now. Good job here by Ryan Early, his first at bat. He's seen a lot of pitches and trying to put the onus back on Merritt. And steal made there by, he trips over between second and third, but he's still going to make it. So great base running by Cole Evans, stole second base. It was a little bit of a stumble and regained his footing and slid into third under the tag, so an indication of Ramblers' desire to just keep the scoreboard ticking over. So Floyd Nola at bat. He's on the mound now for Ramblers in their defensive half of the inning. At the plate has their number 5 hitter. And again, Nola from a prominent current generation softball family. Sister Ruby, part of the White Sox program. She's in one of the 2 teams going to the Canada Cup this winter, New Zealand time. He lays off that, so 3-0 the count on Floyd Nola. Sorry, 2 balls, 1 strike is the actual count, so and Nola just meets that ball, drives it into, doesn't drive it, he just finesses it into the left centre field shallow area there. Bats in Cole Evans for the 14th run of the game. 14th run of the game for Ramblers, who are seeking their 14th title. So the DR, who hasn't been overly used this year, this game rather, Oliver Rainsfeld comes in to run there for Floyd Nola, because they'll want him to go back out and resume warming up to pitch the bottom of the 7th. Nathan Nukunuku up for his 3rd at-bat of the game. So it's an indication of how long this game's gone, how deep it's gone into the batting orders, because Nathan actually missed a couple of at-bats when he subbed himself out and allowed Lewis Gerard to take over that DP role. But this is his 3rd trip to the plate for the game anyway, so... So that means the just based on that that sequence for Nathan Nukunuku, it means that the top 5 batters in the Ramblers lineup have had 5 at-bats each. So Nathan Nukunuku wearing his trademark number 12 shirt that he's always had right throughout his career with, his club team, his provincial team Auckland, and the Black Sox. And his wife Katrina, who I mentioned earlier, is the player coach of the Ramblers women's team. She also wears number 12, and the 2 of them actually got married on the 12th day of the 12th month of 2012. Only a couple of months before Nathan ended up playing for the Black Sox and winning the World Champs in Rosedale Park 2013. So number 12, a significant number for the Nukunuku family. Ball 3, strike 2. Nuku hits back to Merritt, who throws him out. So probably in his peak years with the Black Sox, Nathan may have beaten that out, but credit to Josh Merritt. Apologies for calling him Jason earlier, but Josh Merritt. And a playback at second base. Good effort by Stratford, but Rainsfeld's the DR and he is a canny runner, so he beats that throw out. So 14-9, 2 down, top of the 7th. Swing and a miss, so bit of heat on that pitch from Merritt. Reece Evans, who's already put the ball over the fence once today, looked like he was going for it again, but the pace of the Merritt pitch beat him on that occasion. Merritt meets the ball, but Gollan does the work and takes the out over to Ray Markey at first. So just the 1 run added there by Ramblers, but that's enough to give them a 14-9 lead going into the bottom of the 7th. So, and it looks like we're going to see Floyd Nola continue on the pitching mound. Quite a fluid pitching action from Nola. He sees a bit of game time on the mound in the Auckland club competition. And quite a good move by Ramblers to enter 2 teams. I know some associations aren't always amenable to that scenario of having 2 teams from the one club in the Premier competition, but the advantage of it in this case is that when you've got the depth that Ramblers has, it gives you the opportunity to get more game time for your pitchers, and it also means that some of your pitchers are facing your own hitters from your own club, which really happens. Often you'll see a dominant team in a club competition that where the top hitters never get to face the best pitcher in town because he or she's often a club mate. So. But here's the big test for Floyd Nola now, because he's going to be facing, in the bottom of the 7th, Riley Markey, followed by Jerome Ray Markey and Tikarika Cooper Nicola. So the 2, 3, 4 hitters, the prime hitters for Pineki Kilburney. Ball 2, strike 1. So just a reminder that Riley Markey, as well as that automatic home run, has been walked 3 times in this ball game as Ramblers pitch around him. That one's more down the middle and he fouls it off. Foul ball there, and nicely picked up by Oscar Clark. on the backhand, but the ball was foul and no chance of the play. So looks a quite handy little fielder there, Oscar Clark at third base. Ball 3, strike 2 now. Is Markia heading for his 4th walk of the game, or is he going to latch onto one and send it soaring over the outfield fence again? And he's picked the walk. So disciplined hitting by Riley Markia. But probably wishes he had seen a few more pitches closer to the zone that he could really tag. Especially with those runners in scoring position. But PK have been very disciplined at the plate. They just kept their scoreboard ticking over on a day when they haven't had a lot of hits. But this man, Ray Markey, had a good one, and he is at bat now. He's taken a strike. So none down. Cooper Nicola will be followed. And a second hit of the game from Ray Markey, who often goes to the opposite field. The left-handed hitter hitting to left field. So a good late swing, controlled swing by Ray Markey. That's a feature of his batting. He is a power hitter. You know, he'll often swing hard, but he'll also just meet the ball and guide it where it's pitched effectively. On the outside in that case. Cooper Nicola, none down. So anyone watching in the eastern suburbs of Wellington will be willing PK onto a rally here to one big innings, and Cooper Nicola fouls off. A real timing hitter, Cooper Nicola. He relies on his on his swing, the timing of his swing. And Cole Evans just makes sure they get the middle runner there. Happy to let Mark here advance to 3, and Cooper Nicola to 2-1. And Coach Mark here keeping faith with Regan Davies. He brought in for Jovan Hanley at the last at-bat. So ordinarily a runner of Cooper Nicola's pace you'd think maybe might steal, but outs are precious here, so they're trying to stay in the game. There's one down. And a bunt attempt, a sort of running bunt attempt there by the right-handed hitter, and not able to make contact with the ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Davies strikes out. So 2 down now, brings up Ash Goffer.
Strikes out for the second out of the innings. Up to the plate now, Ash Goffer.
So Ash Goffer's made things happen a fair bit here. He's often made base. He's just but Noel is just getting into a bit of a zone late in the game. In fact, he in many ways looks like he's been the best of the 3 Ramblers pitchers in terms of finding the zone. Doesn't throw with the pace of Chapman, but he's certainly in tandem here with Max Early, developing quite a good little combination. And 2 down, 1 out for the title, the 14th title by Ramblers. Strike called. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramblers looking to extend this record as New Zealand's most successful club at this particular tournament. So and the ball set up the middle. Oh, what a play by Cole Evans. And here the Ramblers dugout opens and they mob Floyd Nola on the mound. A great play. They should also be mobbing the Kiwi captain Cole Evans for just his consummate play at shortstop. So what a game we've had, a high scoring game, 23 runs produced in a national championship final. You'd never have seen that in the old days of the pitching of Kevin Hurley, Bill Massey and co, but all the same we've been treated to lots of action here with Ramblers running out winners 14-9 over PK. So credit PK for the way they came back from 8-1 down to really take it to Ramblers and to really make it a hitters and base runners final, really, rather than a pitcher dominated one. So bear in mind, folks, that the man out there now for PK, the coach Thomas Markia, who's shaking the hands of the Ramblers opposition, will be centre stage in the next few days. He'll be naming the Black Sox team to go to the World Cup in Canada, which will be in July and be of massive interest. So Floyd Nola just doffs his cap to the crowd, to the Ramblers supporters in the crowd, and there's a whole stand of them basically here in Christchurch. And they deserve the accolades. These have been the best two teams here this week, no doubt, and also big credit to two younger teams on the up in Hutt City United, who finished third. Some great prospects there under coach Craig Wallace, who also coaches the White Sox, and also the Parklands Christchurch United Devils under the coaching of the junior Black Sox coach Jason Kumaroa. They were the fourth place team here. And but it's pretty hard breaking into the top bracket when you have two clubs of Ramblers and PK's status. So thanks to all for chiming in. We're just going to have the presentations, and do we stay alive for those? We can just stay alive and come back for that. So we'll just take a bit of a brief break, and if you want to stay tuned in, we'll bring you all the